Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Temperance and today I have a very easy makeup look for you guys. This is great for the holidays as Christmas is tomorrow, which is right around the corner. So Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. I want to say thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you would like to see how I achieve this look and you can follow step by step if you are a beginner, I'm going to do this as a voiceover. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So without further ado, let's go and jump right into this video. So to start off, I'm going to take my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is good for moisturizing your skin and also just giving you a glow under your makeup. This is more so recommended for girls who are more on the dry side. I am an oily girl, so I'm going to double up my primer with another primer, which is going to be the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer. So I take a little bit of the primer and put it back on my hand and warm up the product. And then I just pat it into my skin because I feel like this is the way that it works best. And I just put it in the areas where I get most oily throughout the day. So I'm taking my Morphe brow pencil and it's in the color Chocolate Mousse. I'm just spooling up my brows, just brushing them out. And then I'm drawing a line at the very bottom of my eyebrow because I do not have very thick eyebrows. I have more so sparse eyebrows, so I have to draw my eyebrows on more than other people might have to. So I draw a defined line at the bottom and then also one at the top of my eyebrow just to outline it. And as I get to the tail, I then connect both of the lines. And I do not draw my eyebrows on super thick. I try to keep the same shape of my natural brow. So once I reach the front of the brow, I use the other end, which is the spoolie, to kind of brush up my hairs and also to brush out that product just to make sure it's not a harsh line and also it looks more realistic and natural. So I am taking the color Fawn in LA Pro Girl Concealer and I'm taking a flat concealer brush and going under that bottom line that I first drew and outlining my bottom brow. This is going to give us a more clean look. And of course, all the products that I am applying to my face, I typically put them on the back of my hand to warm the product up. So now that I've applied the concealer to the bottom of my brows, I typically mix my concealer with my foundation to outline the top of my brow. I do this because I don't want it to be super light. I do not want a highlighted brow. I want something that looks more natural and it looks like more of my brow. So I mix them together and then I go ahead and outline the top of my brow. And after I outline my brow, I diffuse the harsh lines at the top, as you see me doing here. Doing this step makes your makeup look so much more blended. So I take a fluffy brush to just go ahead and assist with blending out those fluffy edges, those harsh edges. So here I'm just taking a flat brush and I'm taking some concealer, which is in the color Fawn, again from LA Pro Girl Concealer. And I am applying the concealer directly into my inner corner, under my eye, and then also bringing it up to the outer corners of my eye. This here will give us the lifted effect and also the lifted look. So if you like more of how the Kardashians wear their makeup, this will give you the lifted look. So I take my beauty blender to go ahead and blend this out. Of course, we have not put on foundation yet, so this is just the first layer of concealer. This will help you to color correct and So I slowed down the clip so you guys can see this in real time. I am pinching the beauty blender and pushing that into the corner of my nose and also between my eyes and just blending that out. So that way it gets a more even and consistent blend. So now I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the color Earth I use this to cream contour. I feel like it gives me the most warm look. This is my favorite foundation stick. So if you are a beginner, you do not have to do this step. This is more so for intermediate or advanced makeup doers. But if you do this, if being a beginner, you do not have to use as much product as I did. So I'm just blending that down with a very dense blending brush. And as I blend the side of my cheeks, I push the brush and the product into my cheeks and blend upwards. To blend out the contour on my forehead, I'm pretty much using the stippling motion. I'm patting the product into my forehead just to keep it in place, and then I'm swiping and making small circular motions towards my hairline. So I'm pushing the product backwards instead of forward because we want to make sure that that is more so of a bronzy shadow going backwards and making the forehead look smaller versus pulling it forward. So just to make sure I have everything blended out, I'm just using the base of my beauty blender. So now we're going in with my foundation from Too Faced. I am in the color Spiced Rum, and I'm just applying that everywhere I want my contour and concealer to meet my foundation. This just helps with the blending process and to make everything look seamless. So here I'm just going ahead and using that same brush that we started off with to apply our concealer for the first layer. And I'm just reapplying my concealer in the color Fawn from LA Pro Girl. And under this I am using Warm Honey, which is a lighter concealer because I want that more of a highlighted effect. And I took some of that concealer and put it right under my contour, and this is in the color Fawn. You do not want this to be too light because if it's too light it will show up in pictures and in videos and it becomes very, very hard to fix. So I'm just blending out everything with my beauty blender, and I'm making sure that I do not drag my concealer down and that I'm just pushing everything going up towards my hairline. And again, I do this because I want a more of a lifted, bright look under my under eye. So to begin contouring my nose, I just continued with that same concealer brush. I drew a very, very skinny line down my nose because I have more of a wider, more broad nose. So this is the way that I contour my nose. If your nose is shaped differently, you can contour your nose however you choose. This is the second application of the concealer. And I just put a little bit of concealer at the tip of my nose because I want to have more of a button nose effect. This will make my nose look like it's sitting more up than to be pulled down how it naturally is. And again, I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the color Earth, and I'm just contouring that. I'm just pulling out and adding some shadow so that way we can have some dimension to our nose because we do not want it to be flat. We want to add more of a bridge to our nose. So here I'm taking more of a defined blending brush. It's a very, very small pointer brush, and I use that to blend out my nose contour so that it don't be so harsh, so that it isn't very harsh. And then I just take that same concealer brush and add a little bit more concealer just to make sure that we can see where I added the contour, and you can see the outline of my nose. So this will just make everything look more 3D and more defined. So I'm just now taking my Tarte Shape Tape in the color Tan just to add a little bit more highlight under my eye. I love the highlighted look. It just gives me more glam. I'm taking my Fenty powder in the color Honey, and I'm just applying that everywhere that I went, and I highlight it with my contour. And I'm applying this with the brush because I find that the brush leaves me more of an airbrush look, and it makes everything look more polished and more smooth, versus when I use my beauty blender, I tend to get texture under my eyes, and I do not like that. It just makes the makeup and the powder cling to my under eye makeup, and that just doesn't photograph well. So now I'm just priming my eyes with what I had left over on that brush, and this is just to set the foundation for our eyeshadow. And you just want to take a fluffy brush, any fluffy brush that you have, just to blend that out. So I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, and I chose this palette because I felt like everybody had it, and it's a universal palette for any makeup look. So I'm taking the color Hunts, and I'm applying that to my crease, and I'm just going to build this color up in my crease till it comes to a consistency that I like, and I'm just dragging that all the way down into the inner corner of my nose, kind of like into my contour, and then dragging it all the way on the outer of my eye. So now I'm taking another fluffy blending brush, and I'm applying the color Chip directly into my crease, and I'm patting that into my crease first before I blend it out because I want to have more of a color payoff. So I'm pushing the brush upward into my crease. So now I'm taking the color Jax, and I'm just packing that on the outer third of my eye. So for my crease colors, I am using Sissy and Queen, and I'm just taking a very flat, defined brush and just going ahead and I'm angling the brush downward and pulling it up into my crease. And this gives me more of a precise cut crease without using concealer. And I just drag this color all the way out into the outer corners of my eye, just so that all of my eyeshadow can blend together. And this is Sissy that I am applying currently right now, and then I will put Queen more so on the out, closer to the color Jax. So this is Queen that I'm applying right now. The liner that I'm going to use today is the NYX Epic Ink Liner. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw myself a very, very small wing. I am starting to outline my liner from the middle of my eye and dragging it upward because I want it to be slightly thick but not too thick. So now I'm just taking these random lashes that I had on hand and using my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara to prep my eyelashes. I'm going to use my Duo Glue, and I'm applying that directly to my lash line. And while my glue dries, I'm just going to go ahead and brush off that excess powder that we have on our face. And I'm going to go ahead and apply my bronzer / contour. This is the Sephora palette, and I'm just taking a clean, fluffy angled brush, and I'm just applying that to the places where I did my cream contour, which is my forehead and down the sides of my cheeks. So I apply my lash from the middle, then I tack the inside, and then I put down the outside. So I do it in sections so that way I don't miss a beat. And I'm going back in with Jax, and I'm just taking that on a small fluffy blending brush and applying that directly under my eye. This is all I do for my under eye. So now I'm taking my Fenty contour and bronzer in the color Mocha Mami, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to the same place I added my contour because I just love how bronzy it makes me look, and it just warms up the skin. And I could leave it here and leave this like as my blush, but No, I'm going to go, I'm going to go ahead and take the Fenty Mocha Mami and to just go ahead and outline and contour my nose. So that's just going to set that cream contour that I put on there previously. And sorry, I had my mirror in the way. So I'm going back in with this blush color, and I'm taking this on a very fluffy brush. God. And I'm just putting this at the high points of my face because I do not want to drag down my brush into the apples of my cheeks, because then that'll cut off my highlighted effect. And I add a little bit to my nose because it kind of reminds me of the Instagram filter, and I love that. So my camera cut off, I couldn't show you guys my highlighter, so I just took both of those highlighters and applied them to the high points of my cheek, down my nose, at the tip of my nose, and on the bridge of my nose, and also to my inner corner. So now I am lining my lips with the KKW lip liner in the color Nude 3. And I'm using my NYX liquid lipstick in the color London and applying this to my lips. And directly on top of this, I am going to be using the Kim Kardashian lipstick in the color 90s style. And I just blend these out with my finger so we don't get that powdery look. And I reapply my lip liner. So I'm just taking this random clear lip gloss that I got from the beauty supply store just to top it all off. And I am going to set my face with my NYX Matte Setting Spray. And this will finish our look. So this is the completed look. I just want to say happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. And thank you so much for tuning in. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I love you guys, and Merry Christmas.